Have you noticed that the right wing is blatantly inconsistent? They constantly abandon their supposed values. Maximizing their own power seems to be their only goal. They claim to value free speech when their speech is under attack, and then they promise to deport pro-Palestine protesters. They claim to fight for democracy, and then they try to rig an election. They accuse their opponents of being warmongers, and then they suggest attacking their allies. They have no principles. Maximizing their own power seems to be all that they care about. Occasionally, a right-winger will give the game away. They will justify this with reference to the friend-enemy distinction. The friend-enemy distinction refers to an idea created by Carl Schmitt. Carl Schmitt was a political philosopher from Nazi Germany. He is probably the only Nazi thinker to be taken seriously academically. His arguments are respected among academics in a way the deranged ramblings of other Nazi thinkers are not. Carl Schmitt noted that many things fall back on these dualisms, these distinctions. Economics revolves around a distinction between the profitable and the unprofitable. Aesthetics revolves around a distinction between the beautiful and the ugly. Morality revolves around a distinction between good and evil. Politics revolves around the most fundamental distinction, the friend-enemy distinction. This is Carl Schmitt's infamous concept of the political, and it is the philosophic basis of the behaviour of the contemporary right. Acquiring power for our group is all that matters. Rules are applied in a way that appears inconsistent, but this is an illusion, because this apparent inconsistency consistently reflects a recognition of the friend-enemy distinction. The friend-enemy distinction is the core and fundamental political principle, so it is prioritized above all other political principles. This is where all of the hypocrisy comes from. Free speech for us, but not for you. Democracy for us, but not for you. You should be peaceful. We have no need to be. You should be constrained by morality. We should know of no constraint. Rules are for you, not for us. That is the friend-enemy distinction in action. Anything is permissible as long as it furthers our own group. Inconsistent standards are not inconsistent if they further our interests. Because the values were never the core point of loyalty. They were a means to an end, and that end was derived from the friend-enemy distinction. I hope that my point here is understandable. They treat regular principles, freedom, equality, democracy, not as ends, but as means. They use them to pursue an end, namely triumphing in a realm dominated by the friend-enemy distinction. Ultimately, winning this fundamental political contest means breaking the rules as we understand them while demanding that we follow them. Because doing this is optimal for the victory of one group over another. They fight without standards while demanding standards of us. Because standards don't matter to them, their perceived group's victory is what matters to them. Understand the friend-enemy distinction, and you understand the modern right. The mind-bending absurdities and inconsistencies suddenly make a lot of sense. The senseless hypocrisy suddenly becomes logical and calculated. And they are winning, because the laws of politics privilege amorality. They have every advantage. If we abandon morality, we become indistinguishable from them and make them victorious. So how do we win? Some might say the answer is that we don't. I reject that. I think we can win, but only if we play our cards incredibly wisely. Our political strategy has to be impeccable. On every level, our political strategy must be well thought out and incredibly rational. So far it has been anything but, and that is why the left is losing so badly. We need to change things fast if we want to stand any chance. We cannot let a world that takes principles and values seriously become a distant memory.